Tip number 45 from the book 501 Contractor Tips. This is free building materials. There are plenty of websites on the internet where you can list used building materials that can be given away instead of paying for their disposal. If you have scrap wood, place it in front of the job site with a free firewood sign on it. You got to get creative here. Now that's the disposal. I'd also like to point out that you can acquire free building materials. You're not going to get everything you want all the time. But I actually knew one guy who did insurance work, and all of the old materials he would take. So let's just say he took a beam out of a house, a 4x12. He would take the beam out and cut off the bad area of the beam, run it through a planer, and he had a brand new piece of wood. You just got to get a little creative here. If this is going to work for you, remember, one of the things you've got to keep in the back of your mind as a successful contractor is you can't spend $5 to save $3. And if that's what you would be doing here, this wouldn't be cost effective. But I would like to point out one thing, and it's not like this is free, but in a way it was. I did a job where I had, let's just say, it was all cedar, tight knot, fascia board I was using. So they were all 2x10s. And I was ending up with anywhere between a 4-foot and a 1-foot scrap, scrap pieces from the fascia people installing the fascia board. Well, what I did was I took these pieces home and I was building lattice fences. So, I was actually needed to build my own lattice because it was horizontal and diagonal. It wasn't like you normally find it where it's at an angle, like 45-degree angle type of lattice you can pick up at your local home improvement center. This was horizontal and vertical. I couldn't get, so I was making my own, and it was actually thicker. It was a 1/2 inch thick. So what I did, and again, this falls into this category of free building materials. I took these pieces home and I ripped them on the table. So I did it on the weekends. I did it after work. I didn't have nothing to do. I just go out in my garage and rip this stuff down whenever I could and used it for these panels. You've got to get creative, and this is what I'm saying. Now, was it a waste of my time? It all depends. I would have to either burn this stuff, find somebody who wanted to use it in their fireplace, pay for it to go to the dump, the disposal fees, or cut it up into small pieces and use it for my lattice to save me even more money. Now, when I broke everything down, it came down to where buying the lattice or ripping it down on the thing, it was almost where it worked out pretty good for me. So again, I want to stress this enough. Don't spend $5. Don't spend 5 hours. If you make $25 an hour, don't waste 5 hours at $25 an hour, which would come to $125 an hour, to save $100 an hour. This is important. So if you can use this tip, use it. If you can't, then don't. And again, that's what these tips are. They are not going to work for everyone. But if you keep them in the back of your mind, and if you drive by a place and there's, hey, free plumbing pipe or plumber going out of business. Wait a minute, you're a plumbing contractor? Get over there. Don't pass something like that up.